Here we go again. I'll prove here again. Zakir Naik is playing with words, distorting Islamic teachings to suppress the real truth, which is Islam is a religion of barbarism. And I will just prove it to you here in this video. Irrefutably. Again, irrefutably.
Just to ask the question, the verse in the Quran, Surah Nisa, is referring to verse number 34, that the Quran says that first admonish her, then don't share the bed, then beat her lightly. Though she agrees, she knows the background. That Islamic Sharia, with the disagreement, you have to admonish her, don't share the bed. Beat lightly means the Prophet said that you should not beat on the face, there should not be any mark. Somewhat similar to beating with a
There should be no mark. Well, not really. If it is there should be no mark, it should be no mark on the face, so that her beating is not exposed to the public, and the husband is in a awkward situation. People keep on asking him, why the hell did you beat your wife? So to avoid that question, it is suggested that he should not beat his wife on the face. I cannot think of any other reason to avoid the face.
She says that yet she doesn't agree. Somewhat similar to beating with a miswak. She says that yet
similar to miswak. I don't know whether he knows hadith very well. There is no hadith to confirm that when you should beat your wife, the beating stick should be no bigger than a miswak. Miswak means toothbrush. There's nothing in the hadith. There are some Islamic scholars who came up with this stupid made-up logic that Islam doesn't allow beating women, so they wanted to reach a sort of a reconciliation, and they came out with this made-up story of the beating stick should not be more than a toothbrush. These are in the opinions of some scholars, nothing to do with Quran and Hadiths, nothing. It's all absolutely made up to just give a better picture or a more acceptable understanding of the Quranic verse.
Agree. How can somebody have the right to beat me? Is the question. Sister, I'm asking a simple question. Suppose if you have a son and you live in a 9-story building.
So my wife is my son?
And your son wants to jump from the 9-story building. He wants to jump and he wants to argue with you. What will you do?
So basically, according to this argument, if my wife does something stupidity, some sort, and she wants to do something which may self-inflict harm on her, then I should do something or even use reasonable force to stop her. Is that his argument? Doesn't make any sense. But Islam doesn't say so. Islam doesn't say that you can, use reasonable force to stop your stupid wife from committing any self-harm. It's absolute made up.
Then don't jump. Yet he wants to jump. What will you do? Sister, what will you do?
I would hit him.
Why? What right do you have?
Understood, fine. But then, okay,
yes,
alright, understood. But then let me ask you a question. What if my husband...
Let me complete the answer.
Okay, sorry.
It was a rhetoric question from me.
Okay.
So you can't say no one has the right to beat. No one has the right to beat unnecessarily without reason, without this. You can put conditions.
No, husband doesn't have and shouldn't have the right to beat wife at all. If it is so, a relationship issue is so irreconcilable. The wife is an independent person, an adult person. Then, if it becomes irreconcilable, they should just simply, separate and eventually head for divorce.
Beat means, suppose someone is there, he is coming and robbing in the house. I have a right to stop him. If someone comes and wants to molest my sister or my wife, I will not keep quiet. I am not wearing bangles in my hand. But unnecessary is agree. Similarly, the husband, on a general thing, doesn't have a right to beat the wife at all. So here it says that if she breaks or if she disobeys or breaks Sharia, there are various rules and regulations.
There's various rules. Come on. That's the main thing. What are the various rules and regulations? When can a husband beat his wife? If the wife says, sorry, I don't want to have sex today, so the husband should have the right to beat her up. Or even if she is disobedient, Can she be beaten? Well, I'll prove it to you. Islam does allow that. Now the question is, what is obedience to husband? Now, listening to, every command of the husband, except if the husband gives some orders which is against Sharia, that means relating to her Islamic rituals, prayers and all. Apart from that, the wife is bound to listen to every command of the husband. That is obedience in Islam. And if she doesn't comply with that, she can be beaten up.
Then, even that time, you don't beat her for admonition. Say it is wrong. Like you won't beat your son who wants to jump. Or your son, don't jump. You don't give a slap. If you give a slap, I say, come on, अच्छे से तो बोलो भाई. बेचारा इसको क्या पता वो जब मारेगा तो मरेगा. At least talk. He's so old if he's 5 years old, 10 years old. Tell him, beta, don't jump. Don't hit him. So here first you admonish. Then don't share the bed. That means you're serious now. So if you tell your son, don't jump, ma, I'll hit you. Warning.
You're telling your son, don't self-inflict harm. And that's the same to wife not listening or obeying to your stupid commands. They seem to be the same. Yeah, Dr. Naik?
Warning order, I won't give you further. And then as last resort, you may even have to hit him. Or may have to tie his hand. Why? Because you love your son. Not that you hate your son.
Oh, yes. You beat your wife because you love her. You beat your wife because she's denying your sex. You beat your wife because your wife doesn't want to listen to a few of your commands. So you have the right to beat.
And here, Allah has given permission as a last resort. Beat lightly, the Arabic word is zaraba.
Oh.
Beat lightly means ultimatum.
I will prove that word, Dr. Naik, what that means. Don't worry. I will prove it to you from the Quran.
That be both okay. This beating is not for hurting the wife physically.
Oh, really?
If it was hurting the wife physically, I said, barabar se khoob marna.
So, Rabba doesn't mean hitting physically, is it?
Hit properly so that there are 10-20 marks and blood comes out. So here we realize from the Quran, beat lightly means it's the final warning, ultimatum. And the hadith says with miswak. Today you say like maybe with
the hadith said miswak. Oh, sorry, I need to know the hadith. Where did you get this hadith miswak? Where? Which Sahih hadith comes up with this miswak thing? That beat your wife with miswak, that means toothbrush. Liar. Blatant, pathetic, compulsive liar.
Thank you. Not tying a knot and doing teach, in the school we used to give. That also hurts. With a hanky. That means finish. With ultimatum. That means they're giving ultimatum warning. And then the Quran says if they dispute, then have a consultation and then break, the various things what the Quran says. So here we analyze, sister, the reason they have given is because in the society, in the family, as far as the family affairs is concerned, the leader is the man. So here given ultimatum warning. That doesn't mean that husband is always right. Please don't misunderstand. He is the leader because he is the qawwam. Just before that, Allah says in Surah Nisa chapter 4, 34, Ar-rijalu qawwamun an-nisa. That the man is the qawwam of the woman. Many people say, man is superior. Qawwam superior.
Okay, qawwam doesn't mean superior, but I will prove from somewhere else, Dr. Naik, that husband is made superior to his wife. Oh, you're not getting away with this one, Dr. Naik.
Comes from the word iqama, means to stand up for. How we have iqama before salah? To stand up for salah. So here the Quran says the man has one additional responsibility.
Additional responsibility, not additional superiority.
He has to stand up for the woman, look after the woman. Doesn't mean boss over the woman.
Really?
And the reason is given because Allah has given one more strength than the other. We have to agree physical strength, the man has got more than the woman.
All right, so it means physical strength now.
That's the reason as the ultimatum of giving a warning. But that doesn't mean the husband is always right. Husband can be wrong. So that will come to know maybe through a meeting of other people.
Through meeting.
Or in the akhirah.
So you're saying that if the husband is wrong, the wife can call for a meeting? Or are you referring to Surah Nisa where it says that the wife's family and husband family should have a meeting for reconciliation? Is that what you're referring to, Dr. Naik? You didn't clarify here.
So that doesn't mean Allah said the husband is always right. Husband can use that as a last ultimatum, whether right or wrong. He cannot physically torture her.
Really?
If he doesn't like her, he can't torture, he should leave her, give talaq.
All right.
In most of the other religions, there's no system of talaq. There's no system of divorce. Islam is one of the few religions which has shown the way. Maybe both husband and wife are good. You part, you can't keep on torturing her. In other religions, the husband comes home, he drinks alcohol, eats her every day. Kuch bhi bolo, wo mera Parameshwar hai. He's my God.
There you go. He's in fact Parameshwar. Use the word Parameshwar. He's saying that in Islam there's a chance that a wife can ask for divorce, but in other religions where husbands are considered Parameshwar, that means the Lord. He's referring to Hinduism. Very subtly, Dr. Naik, very clever, very clever.
It's not like that. The husband may be right, the wife may be right, anyone may be right. So here this is the ultimate of mourning before the part away. So that's the reason Allah has permitted to beat the wife lightly. That doesn't mean husband is superior, it doesn't mean husband is always right. He may be right, he may be wrong. So these will be discussed on a different level altogether. You can go to court of law, you can go to a qazi, you can pull the husband in the court of law, you can. So this is a permission given, that means this is ultimate of mourning.
We will find out whether the husband really has, whether the wife even has the right to go to a Sharia court against her husband. In fact, Dr. Naik, she doesn't have the right to go to Islamic Sharia court according to Quran and Sunnah. There is no such thing to say that the wife has the right to go to the court against her husband. She can call for her family in effort to reconcile, but not to go to court. This is an Islamic country or a court, a Muslim country can set up these courts, these qazis, but even according to Abu Ala Maududi, husband and wife's matters should not go to court even. And because there's no example, no direction in Islam to suggest that spousal matters can go to the court. Liar.
Either you part or whatever it is, as a last resort, sister. Hope that answers the question, sister. If you have any counter argument, you're most welcome, sister.
What provisions do I have if my husband, I feel he is wrong? Now, what does the Quran say about that? How do I admonish him?
Yeah.
Etc., etc. What do I do then?
There you go.
There was a question asked to me earlier. Sister, what right does she have? How can she admonish? There was a question who asked that, can I beat my husband? I said, Allah would have given that, then the husband would have bashed you.
Oh, everybody started laughing because they find it funny. They didn't find it funny when the husband was given right to beat, but they find it funny when the wife asks that whether I can beat him as well.
Because the man has more physical strength.
Oh, so the man has more physical strength, so she has the sole right to admonish her physically. But the wife is weaker, she's the weakest link, so she doesn't even have that right. So she has to succumb to that.
Normally, there may be some cases where the female may be stronger than the husband. Like we have female wrestlers and sportswomen. I'm not disagreeing with that. As a general rule, yes, you have other things to do. But if you say, I lightly admonish my husband,
yes,
and if he retaliates, there's a problem.
So she has to live in fear.
Instead of solving the problem, there'll be a bigger problem. Sister, you have every right. You can object to your husband. When you object, you should see to it that he's doing something un-Islamic. If there differs of opinion, he says that put blue cover or paint the house blue, you say white. Difference of opinion. You can either paint white, solve it out. At that time, if he is the Amir, he is the leader, you have to believe.
Alright, so if the husband is just despotic, he goes, I want it painted white, I want that furniture, and the wife has no right to disagree. And she comes and says, sorry, it's household matter, let me have priority. She cannot even say that. Right?
Always right. But if he says something which is haram, he said, don't wear hijab. He said, no, I'm going to wear hijab. He said, no, I'm your husband. The husband can't go against the Sharia, can't go against Allah, can't go against Allah.
Right, so that's the only exception, yeah?
But if he's going against any law of the Sharia or law of Allah, and when you object, you should object. Why? Allah says in Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 135 that Ya alladhina amanu, oh you believe, stand out for justice and witness to the truth of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if it be against yourself. Against your parents, against your relatives. Husband is not mentioned there. Husband comes in relatives. Even if it be against yourself.
Right.
Against your parents, against your relatives, whether they're rich or poor, Allah protects all. For Allah says you can go against even your parents, against your husband. But otherwise, difference of opinion, he is the Amir. But you have something which is right.
Difference of opinion. So
And difference
difference
of
of opinion, I'm obliged to listen to husband, right?
can object, and if he does and he breaks the Sharia and he's really troubling you, torturing you, what right do you have? You can go to a Qazi system.
No. Islam, in Islamic law, in fact, in the strict Islamic law, Quran and Hadith nowhere mention that the wife can take this to court. Even the Islamic scholars differ in opinion. They don't agree with this stupid argument that you are coming up with tonight. There's nothing to prove that. Absolutely nothing. He can go to the family at the most.
The first option is that you can request if it's mentioned in the Nikah Nama. I'm talking about ultimate.
If it is written in the Nikah Nama, if the talaq tawfiq, that means permission is given for the wife to divorce, only then, under certain circumstances, certain conditions, if they are mentioned, the wife can ask for divorce, not if otherwise.
Speak to him, get a family. Like first of a meeting between husband and wife, the Quran says, then get elders from both the families. Let's say I'm trying to explain to him this is wrong and whatever it is. As a last resort, if it's mentioned in Nikah Nama in your marital contract, that you too can give a divorce to an isma.
Yes.
Or talaq tawfiq.
But if she doesn't have that,
then you can also give divorce. If it's not mentioned, you can request for a divorce. That see, we aren't on good terms, I request you, leave me. It's called as khula. He said, no, I don't want to leave you. Last resort, go to a qazi and do nikah first.
Now you have come to the point. Dr. Naik, no, sorry. There is nothing in Quran and Sunnah to say that wife can take this to court. And there are countries, Muslim countries like Bangladesh, there are Dissolution of Marriages Act, there is Muslim Family Law Ordinance, you can take your husband to court for divorce. But these are in fact not Islamic in the strictest sense, though they are called Dissolution of Marriages Act or Muslim Family Law Ordinance. In fact, there are many things in those acts. I can tell you, as a lawyer with law degrees, best law degrees from Bangladesh, I can tell you that there is nothing Islamic in those sanctions, in those acts. Now, let's analyze your lecture. There you go. Surah 4, verse 3, it says, and if you fear that you will not deal justly then with the orphans, then marry those, then please you, and 2 or 3 or 4. But if you fear that you will not be just, marry only one. Yeah, just. This just is meant. Many of the scholars agree that this just means being equal in financial treatment, not otherwise. Okay, let's proceed. Now he was talking about the same surah, Surah 4, verse 34. It says, men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given over the other and what they spend, right? Okay, one over the other, and that they spend for their wealth. So righteous women are devoutly obedient. So obedience is for husband, sole right. The husband doesn't have to be obedient. Guarding in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, you see that? First advise them, and then if they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally strike them. Okay, now the word here, strike. You remember Dr. Naik said that this strike doesn't mean hitting her with a stick or anything. It means hitting her with a toothbrush. Do you remember that? Do you remember? Now let's find the word here. Here, strike them. Here. You see? Here. The same word is used elsewhere in the Quran to refer to striking hard. I'll prove it to you. There you go. Surah 38, verse 44. The same word is used. And take in your hand a branch. He was telling to Job, Prophet Job. We said, 38:44. We said, take in your hand a bunch of grass and strike with it. Strike. And do not break your oath. Strike. Okay? He's telling his wife to be beaten up. Right? And then if you're not happy with it, let's go somewhere else. Okay. I'll prove even further. Here, Surah 8 verse 12. And when your Lord inspired angels, I am with you. So strengthen those who have believed, and I will cast terror in their hearts of those who disbelieved. So strike them. Strike. Okay? Here in this verse, the same word has been used where the Quran says strike your wife. So strike them. So strike upon their necks and strike for every finger tip. You see, finger tip. There you go. So you do not strike your enemy with toothbrush, do you, Dr. Naik? Same Arabic word is used here. Same Arabic word here. See that? Same Arabic word. Liar, Dr. Naik. Liar. Liar. And now let's go for Bukhari Hadith. Here in this Hadith, please read the reference. Here in this Hadith, someone came to Muhammad's wife Aisha with several serious marks on her body, where it proved that her husband beat her up. And Aisha said she never saw anyone with such body marks of torture. Here, showed green spot, skin and skin beating. And when the Prophet came, Aisha said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing woman. Look, you see, the husband, Muhammad came and asked what happened. She said, my husband is important. Then Muhammad called the man, the husband said, I have children from other wives, so that proves that I'm not important. Then Muhammad said to the wife that you have to go back, and the husband was not admonished for beating his wife in that manner. Dr. Naik, you are a liar, bloody liar. There you go. Again, Sahih Muslim. Read the reference. Clear reference here, Sahih Muslim. Muhammad even beat Aisha on the chest. On the chest, Dr. Naik. Here. Here. Aisha, that you were read, and just tell me what happened there. You read it here. That he struck me on the chest, caused me pain. Here, can you see that? And caused me pain. Muhammad hit Aisha on the chest. Here, here's the reference. Dr. Naik, should I go on? Yes, I will go on. And here's the reference. Yeah? Can you read the reference? Sahih Hadith, Abu Dawud. The Prophet said, a man will not be asked as to why he beat his wife. Oh, Dr. Naik. Oh. Then I will go on. And again, Abu Dawud. One of the 6 Sahih Hadiths, major Hadiths. You see the reference? There you go. It was allowed that the woman, should be allowed to, although the Prophet initially said, don't beat the handmaids of Allah, but then he said, Umar came to Apostle of Allah and said, women have become embodied towards their husbands. Then Prophet gave permission to beat them. Okay? See? Very clear. Reference is clear. And then we should go on. Then again, here is the Hadiths. Abu Dawud, book 12, 2126. Clear? It says that when a husband found out that although he married someone, taking her to be a virgin, but she was already pregnant, Muhammad said, her vagina is lawful to you because you paid mahar. That means you bought her. Her vagina is lawful because she will get dower. Here. She will get dower. You see? You bought her, so her vagina is lawful, though she is pregnant. And it says, the child will be your slave. The child will be your slave. And when the child was born, she was begotten, flog her, according to the version of Allah son. Look. So Islam says you can beat your wife if you found out she's already pregnant after you married her, and after she gives birth to that child will become your slave. All right? So you should not even divorce her. You make sure you have sex with her because you paid for her. What a barbaric law. And then Surah 2, verse 2 to 8, as Dr. Naik was saying, the husband is not superior. To challenge that, it says, divorced women remain in waiting for 3 periods. It is not lawful for them to conceal what Allah has created in their wombs, blah, 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 and the last day, and their husbands have more right to take them back to his blah, blah, and due to wives' age, similar to the expected of the according to his number, but the men have a degree above. Here, degree above. Okay? Here, if you go for the word for word translation, you will see a degree. All right? Sorry, he is superior. Over them, a degree. Very clear. Very clear. And then, as to getting a divorce, it can be taken for annulment only if the marriage was forceful without her consent, if she was a virgin. Here's the reference. That's the only time you can take it to the court. In fact, if the marriage was committed forcefully or against her will, if she was a virgin. That's the only annulment procedure. That's the only annulment procedure. No other procedure, Dr. Naik. No other procedure. You can read, even Abu al-Mawdud is writing very clearly to confirm that, as the Prophet said, that the husband shouldn't be asked about why he beat her, he even beat his wife, so the matter cannot even be taken to court. Oh, come on, Dr. Naik. You can get away with your lies and tricks to the ordinary, but you cannot fool me.